Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ignorant Intellectual on Media. Today, I thought we'd continue in my film library. We're on the directors now. We did A's and B's. Now let's do the C's, and hopefully it'll be fun, and you'll enjoy it as much as the other videos. All right, all right. I'll just switch the camera around, and I'll talk to you in a second. All right, everyone, we're back, and let's start with the C's. All right. So first up is last we did was Tim Burton. So next up is James Cameron. All right, so what do we have for James Cameron? You've got True Lies, a Schwarzenegger film. Still looking for this on Blu-ray. It's not a difficult movie to find on Blu-ray, just haven't found it yet. All right, and then we got Aliens. So I have a whole box set of Blu-rays for the Aliens in my library in the alphabetical order by title library, because it has all 4 Aliens films in it. But I ended up picking up this one on its own, and I guess I decided to keep it for the Cameron section of my library. All right. After that, we got the Abyss, the thick version of it, special edition. And Avatar on Blu-ray. Haven't watched the second one in this second film of his yet. I haven't watched that one yet. We got Aliens of the Deep. Steve Quayle joined him on this documentary. So I guess they were taking advantage of, the Abyss or whatever, and decided to do a documentary on the deep animals in the deep ocean and used Cameron's name on it to sell it. All right, Terminator, the 6-film collection. Got this for $22. All DVDs. I have the Terminator on Blu-ray. Once I get if there's a 6-film collection, I think there's a 6-film collection of this on Blu-ray. I'll pick that up. Then I won't have all these individual Terminator films on Blu-ray. T2 Judgment Day. And Titanic on Blu-ray. Man, Leonardo DiCaprio looks so young there. And then we got it on a special edition DVD. I kept it because it's a really nice edition. I think also the extras on this are different, but I'd have to double check that. And next up we have Frank Capra. And I have his collection of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 films. It's a nice collection, has a booklet with it. And here's the films. We have American Madness, It Happened One Night, Mr. Deeds Goes to Town, You Can't Take It With You, and Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. Now, next up after that, after Frank Capra, is John Carpenter. We have Starman. I quite enjoyed this film. There's actually a sequel that's supposed to be made, but they ended up making a TV show about it. Didn't last very long, though. All right. One of his few. This is more of a sci-fi film than it is a horror. There's no horror in it, really. Christine, the evilly possessed car, based on the Stephen King book. They Live. Vampires. Village of the Damned. Ghosts of Mars. Quite enjoyed this film, even though most people panned this film as not being very good. I liked it, but I think I was in the minority. And Halloween. I have it on DVD, and here's the Blu-ray. I don't have, sorry, the 4K. I just don't have it on Blu-ray yet. Although I probably won't need it on Blu-ray anymore because I'm getting a 4K player. So, except after that, my favorite Carpenter film, which is Escape from New York. Sequel, Escape from LA. Quite an insignificant film. First time I saw this film, I thought the surfing scene was pretty stupid, and I thought the whole film was lame because of it. But then I watched it when I was getting older, and I took it for the tongue-in-cheek thing that it was. And I quite enjoyed the movie after that. My second favorite Carpenter film, Big Trouble in Little China. Prince of Darkness. His last film so far, The Ward. I don't think he's made a film after this. This is actually a Blu-ray DVD combo, but it's in a DVD-sized case, not a Blu-ray sized case. And Assault on Precinct 13. And The Fog. And The Thing. A lot of people picked this film as his best film. I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was as good as the other two films that I said I really liked. And then I picked up this one recently, which is a 4K edition of four of his films: Escape from New York, Prince of Darkness, They Live, and The Fog, on 4K. Next up after Carpenter is Charlie Chaplin. And basically I have his, if you notice, I have his collection, right? So we have, basically they all look like this, right? So I have Limelight, The Kid, I showed the back of this one. This is Limelight. And City Lights. Now they have a box set of all these Chaplin films all in one box set. I'm not sure if I think it's on Blu-ray by now, right? We have Monsieur Verdeau, right? And you can get all these films instead of them being individually like these ones. And you can get them all in one box set. The Chaplin Review, which is a bunch of his shorter films, if I remember correctly: Dog's Life, Shoulder Arm, Sunny Side, A Day's Pleasure, The Idle Class, Payday, and The Pilgrim. All right. then you have A Woman of Paris and A King in New York. The Great Dictator, spoof on Adolf Hitler. I suggest you watch that film, especially if you want to. The Circus, especially if you want to like see something that's extremely funny against Hitler. Circus. And then I found this. All right. 51 features of Charlie Chaplin, 14 hours on 3 discs. So it's a bunch of his short films, right? You have all the list of everything right there. Not sure if you can read it. Disc 1, disc 2, and disc 3. And then I also found this. So some of this stuff might be overlapping. Chaplin, The Legend Lives On. Nice box set. 5 DVDs. It has a list of all the films that is on it. 31 short films. Next up we have Sylvain Chomet. And I have 2 of his films. I have The Illusionist, which is one of his animated films. And then I have his most famous one, which is one of the greatest anime films of all time. And that's The Triplets of Belleville. After that, I have the Coen Brothers. All right. Oh, no, not Bob Clark first, the Canadian. We have the start of the slasher genre. A lot of people point to this film as the beginnings of it. So that's Black Christmas. He's also famous for this Christmas film, A Christmas Story. This little boy would like to have a BB gun or a pop gun or whatever type of gun it was. I haven't watched this in a while, but and then he has Porky's, my all-time favorite comedy. The first one is 3 volumes, all 3 of them in one. And then I have the original by itself, which I should take out now that I have that one. So, and now we have the Coen Brothers. We have Fargo, which is my second favorite Coen Brothers film. Extremely good. They ended up, yeah. True Grit, which was another great film. I really enjoyed this film. The remake, the original with John Wayne. This one did it justice. I have another really good film by them, which is No Country for Old Men. That's probably my 3rd favorite film by the Coen Brothers. No humor in this one. We got Intolerable Cruelty. A lot of people panned this film, but I quite enjoyed it. There's a good amount of humor in this film. And Burn After Reading. This one is a bit forgettable. Serious Man. This one, if you ever been taken advantage because you're, a nice man, a man who, has those traditional values of taking care of his family and so on and so forth, and you come across a person that decides to take advantage of you in that way, watch this film. Your mouth will drop. Let's put it that way. Right, after that, we got Hail Caesar. Didn't much like this film, but I only watched it once. So some films you watch once and you quite enjoy them. Other films it takes you a few times to watch before you get them or understand them. The other ones they're crap. You just can't do anything about it, right? Miller's Crossing. This one has gained steam over time. Originally, I don't know if people really liked it much, but the more they watch it, the more they enjoy it. And Inside Llewyn Davis. And The Hudsucker Proxy. I enjoyed this film. This is quite fun. Uh, you know, I could only find it in this crappy version of it, but until I find the Blu-ray, this is what I got. And my all-time favorite Coen film, The Big Lebowski. Got Barton Fink. Are you getting the idea that the Coen Brothers are extremely good filmmakers because they have so many great films? There you go. Raising Arizona and Fargo together. Once I find Raising Arizona on Blu-ray, I will take this off the shelf. But right now, it's the Raising Arizona that's keeping it on the shelf for me because I have Fargo on Blu-ray already. So. All right, Raising Arizona was one of their early films. And Oh Brother, Where Are You? This is probably my fourth favorite film by them. The soundtrack to this movie is really good too. If you haven't pick it up and listen to it. We got Blood Simple. And lastly, you got The Lady Killers, which is another movie that a lot of people panned, didn't like, but I quite enjoyed. I think this is a remake, isn't it, of an earlier film. I think I have the original actually, but I found Tom Hanks did a really great job at this, and there's a good amount of humor in this one as well. Next up after the Coen Brothers is Henri-Georges Clouzot. Henri-Georges Clouzot. Is that how you pronounce it? And we have the Henri-Georges Clouzot collection, all right, which is Wages of Fear, all right, which is an extremely good film if you haven't seen it. Quoi des Oeuvres, I love my French, and De Corbeau, all right. So 3 films in one package. All right. And then I found Wages of Fear on its own on Blu-ray from the British Film Institute. All right. Then we have The Mystery of Picasso. It's an Arrow Academy film. Then we have Inferno, not to be confused with Dario Argento's Inferno. It's also an Arrow Academy film. All right. And then we're moving on to Francis Ford Coppola. And here's his second greatest film, Apocalypse Now. My second favorite war film behind Full Metal Jacket, the Kubrick film. All right. That's on DVD. And now we have it on Blu-ray. I kept the DVD because it has both films. It has the Redux version and the original version. So, all right. And after that, we have Bram Stoker's Dracula. We have Garden of Stone. We have The Conversation. Still new. Whoever bought it for $16.99. I got it for $1. So I haven't watched it yet. Still in its packaging. We got Rainmaker. The Conversation is supposed to be an extremely good film, so I have to watch that. Then we got the Godfather trilogy, the Coppola restoration on Blu-ray, which The Godfather is probably. I like Godfather 2 better than Godfather 1, but you know that's his best work. Here it is again on DVD. We have Youth Without Youth. We have The Outsiders, which is probably going to be. Still reading Kiss of the Spider Woman, but I kind of stalled on that. I was going to do a comparison between Kiss of the Spider Woman, the book, and the movie, and this one begs for it because the book is extremely good and so is the movie. So I should do one on this film, The Outsiders. And last but not least, Dementia 13. All right, next up, we have his daughter, Sofia Coppola, all right, and her best film, which is this one, The Virgin Suicides. If you haven't watched this film, I highly recommend it. And then The Bling Ring. And Lost in Translation. And Somewhere. And Marie Antoinette. And The Beguiled, which is kind of a remake of that Clint Eastwood film, if I remember correctly. All right, now after that, we have Roger Corman. And the first thing by Roger Corman that I have here is 10 cult classics on 40, the Roger Corman's Drive-In Collection. All right, so we got The Little Shop of Horrors, A Bucket of Blood, Dementia 13. Dementia 13, which is also have on Blu-ray in the Francis Ford Coppola because he directed it. Attack on the Giant Leeches, Swamp Women, and 5 other films. She Gods of Shark Reef, Last Woman on Earth, Creature from the Haunted Sea. All right, so you get all these B movies that Roger Corman produced, right? And let's go back over here. Sit down on my chair because we're getting low enough. All There's Roger Corman's name. All right. So we got the Women in Cages collection, Roger Corman cult classic triple feature, The Big Bird Cage, The Big Dollhouse, and Women in Cages. Three films that are a feminist dream, probably. Not. Then we got The Little Shop of Horrors on its own. We got Dangerous Dames, Swamp Women, She Gods of Shark Reef, and Wasp Women. So you notice there's a bit of overlap between these discs. We got cult classics, Jack Nicholson, The Little Shop of Horrors, The Terror, and Dementia 13. Let me show the back of this other one. And then we have another new one that I haven't opened up, which is basically a repeat of the other ones. Roger Corman Horror Collection, which has The Little Shop of Horrors, The Terror, Dementia 13, She Gods of Shark Reef, and Swamp Women. And then we got the Roger Corman Collection, 8 classic films, which are Gas, The Young Racers, Bloody Mama, The Premature Burial, The Trip, The Wild Angels, A Bucket of Blood, which we have in the other ones, and The Man with the X-Ray Eyes. All right, after that, we have Blu-ray of The Pit and the Pendulum, and this is from Arrow Video. Then we have Edgar Allan Poe's The Haunted Palace. Another Arrow Video. Then we have The Raven. Another Arrow Video. And we have Tales of Terror. And we have The Fall of the House of Usher. All Arrow Videos on Blu-ray. And next up after Roger Corman is Wes Craven. We have The People Under the Stairs. We have Cursed. We have the first 4 Nightmare on Elm Street films. And then we have on Blu-ray a Nightmare on Elm Street collection. Which has all 7 of the films, it looks like, on 5 discs. We have The Hills Have Eyes. Now, if you notice, this has a similar look to the Bob Clark film I showed you of Black Christmas, because if you look in the top left-hand corner of the DVD, it says the Horror Legacy series. There's a bunch of these films that takes like some of the great horror films of all time and puts them together in one collection. They all look like that on the spine. They're kind of upside down. It usually, if you notice, see how it's going from bottom to top rather than from top to bottom. Right? Right. So that's The Hill Has Eyes. Then we have My Soul to Take. This wasn't a very good film, but I'm a completist, so if I'm collecting a director, I like to get all of his films. Then we got the Scream Collection on DVD. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. Then we got the original Scream 4 on Blu-ray, but we don't have any of the other ones on Blu-ray. But what we do have is the Arrow, the nice Arrow, the hardcover box sets that they come out with that are really nice. There's the booklet and all the extras. But this is The Last House on the Left. And then I also found The Hills Have Eyes. These are both Blu-rays, both from Arrow. These are my favorite issues from Arrow. Are these really nice special box sets for the films that some of the films that they put out? They usually have them like this, this type of thing. But when they put out something like that, in comparison, they're much nicer. Now they're more expensive, obviously, so they're really only for the the true collector or lover of film or whatever, right? So then we have Red Eye. And we have this pretty dumb film, actually, starring Eddie Murphy, Vampire in Brooklyn. Not one of Craven's best films. Oh, looks like we got a double copy. People Under the Stairs and Shocker. So maybe I should get rid of this People Under the Stairs over here, since I have it here. We'll see. All right. So Shocker is another one of Craven's films. And we got Chiller. You don't see this DVD around much. All right, so next up we have David Cronenberg, starting off with The Dead Zone, which is basically a book by Stephen King, right? And Christopher Walken plays the main character, where he touches people and he can see their future. And then he touches this senator guy, and he sees in the future that he becomes the president of the United States, and that he's the one that starts the nuclear holocaust. So he has to go about assassinating him before he becomes president to save the world. And we have Crash. So it's funny because this one sometimes is confused with the what's the other Crash film? By what was that? The Canadian director there? I can't remember his name. I'll put it on the screen, but it's not. This is Cronenberg's version. This is this is a film about people who get turned on by you know, get sexual pleasure out of car accidents and cars in general, right? Rather than the crash by the other gentleman, the Canadian director, other Canadian director actually, because Cronenberg is Canadian as well. Is about this, you know, this fate type of movie where there's a crash involved, right? So, all right. So after that is A Dangerous Method. And then Existence. And then we have it's either this one, The Fly, or Scanners. There's my favorite Cronenberg film, but this is one of them. This is a nice edition of Rabbit. All right, it's from Arrow. If you haven't seen this film, watch this film. It's kind of an interesting take on I don't know what you would call the person, a vampire or a zombie, but anyways, it's pretty interesting. And then we have Dead Ringers. And we have The Fly, which is his. The Fly 2 is not. And this is one of the rare films that the remake is better than the original. So this is a remake. Cronenberg did the remake of The Fly, and he did a much better job. Well, not totally superior of it. Here it is on Blu-ray. But he did a better job than the original. And we have Maps to the Stars. We have Cosmopolis. This one's pretty bad shape. Then we have Shivers, Arrow video of it. We have History of Violence. And I found Eastern Promises on a Blu-ray Steelbook. So I put it in a plastic case to protect it from getting scratched, which Blu-rays tend to do. Which Steelbooks tend to do. And next up is Cameron Crowe. And we'll start with Singles, that somebody had the good thoughts of putting $3 in marker right on the thing. That's the only copy I've been able to find so far. Then we have Elizabethtown. Move over a bit here. Then we have Aloha. Then we have We Bought a Zoo. Next up, we have Alfonso Cuarón. We'll start with Gravity.
I think gravity is mixed in because
I think Almost Famous is a Cameron Crowe film, so
it's probably my favorite Cameron Crowe film.
then we have another Cameron Crowe film, which is Jerry Maguire. Another one, Vanilla Sky. I enjoyed this one a lot as well. Say Anything, another Crowe film. That Cuarón film is definitely out of place. And here we go. Here's an Alfonso Cuarón film. Y tu mamá está bien, también. And this is my favorite Cuarón film, Children of Men. Extremely good film if you haven't seen it.
And next up after that, we have Michael Curtis. Right.
We have White Christmas. This is The Army. The Comancheros. The Adventures of Robin Hood. I have it on Blu-ray. Not sure why I've kept it, but I also have it on DVD, which I should get rid of now. Combine it. Then we have the Elizabeth Taylor collection, which I'm assuming one of the films, Life with Father, Father Little Divided, is a Michael Curtis film. So Father Little Dividend is Vincent Minnelli film. It doesn't say what the other one is, but I'm assuming since I have it in here, Life with Father is probably a Michael Curtis film. Then we have Mildred Pierce. And Proud Rebel. And of course, his greatest film, and my favorite film of his, is Casablanca. And we have it on DVD as well. Can't seem to hold anything these days. And Night and Day. We're actually in the D's now. We did Darabont. I didn't realize it. So we'll stop here. So that, no, we're about to do Darabont with the Shawshank Redemption. All right, so that was Michael Curtis. We're going to go to Frank Darabont. It'll be the next one on the next video. All right, so that's the directors I have that have a last name starting with the letter C in my collection, and we will move on from there on D in the next video. All right, I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a thumbs up if you did. Think about subscribing to the channel. No pressure, but I would enjoy it if you did. All right, and I'll talk to you on my next video. You have a great day, and bye for now.